And every time you hear about climate change, the first thing that you should take away is always climate. It simply means the long-term weather designs or patterns of an area that is typically averaged over several decades. And it is this way because burning fossil fuels such as coal, oil and gas produce enormous amounts of heat-trapping gases in our atmosphere, which has been some sort of a tradition since the 1800s. Yet, the results from such activities affect the long-term shifts of temperatures and weather patterns. And that right there is climate change. Now let's understand the dangers humans are likely to face if we don't fix this. All that is coming up right now when a singer unfolds. Now, from the previous few words, we thoroughly understood climate change and some of its causes. The backstory is, climate change has always been happening on Earth according to geological records. The rapid rate and magnitude of climate change occurring now is what concerns everyone. And by everyone I mean the concerned. Everyone must be concerned. And it is this way because atmospheric carbon dioxide has not reached to these levels in hundreds of thousands of years. Pollution. In the late 1700s to sometime in the mid-1800s, the world witnessed the famous Industrial Revolution. This Industrial Revolution was simply a transition from old to new manufacturing ways in different parts of the world, majorly in Britain, the United States, and continental Europe. The Industrial Revolution is therefore known for transforming economies that had been based on agriculture and handcrafts into economies based on large-scale industry, mechanized manufacturing, and the factory system. That meant that humans no longer needed arrows to eat food, because new machines were on the horizon, cutlery, and also no more need of wind to navigate the seas. New power sources were available, coal, and new ways of organizing work, which made new and existing industries more efficient and productive. Factories as we know them have been growing ever since and evolving, which is why you no longer need a boyfriend since factories can make dildos. And that is not the point, obviously. You see, factories have not only replaced your boyfriend, but they're also known for burning fossil fuels during their operations. Plus, they also manufacture products that need to burn fossil fuels to operate. Car engines, and believe me, that is bad. That is like being cheated on by your wife and girlfriend at the same time. Apart from burning fossil fuels, other human activities like deforestation, farming livestock, overpopulation, and etc. are increasingly influencing the climate and the Earth's temperature. The main cause of this phenomenon is known as the greenhouse effect, in which heat is trapped close to our Earth's surface by the greenhouse gases. I want you to think of these heat-trapping gases as a blanket that is wrapped around our Earth. That would definitely keep our planet toastier than it would be without this blanket or gases in reality of this topic. So basically, greenhouse gases in our atmosphere like water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and others easily let sunlight in but keep some of the heat from escaping, just like the glass walls of the greenhouse. But if there's more greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, then there is going to be more heat trapped, which strengthens the greenhouse effect, and in that process increasing the Earth's temperatures. Burning fossil fuels has significantly increased the amount of carbon dioxide by more than a third since the Industrial Revolution. And carbon dioxide being the dominant greenhouse gas, that means that the planet has been warmed at an alarming rate. Take a look at our oceans. The ocean has long taken the brunt of impacts of human-made global warming, because as greenhouse gases continue trapping more heat from the sun, our oceans absorb the most of this energy, which results in an increase in sea surface temperatures, and this also melts ice. For your example, you can take ice sheets in Greenland and Antarctica which are melting, and when they continue melting, all the extra water that was once held in glaciers cause sea levels to rise, spilling out of the oceans and flood the coastal regions at the most. And changes in ocean temperatures and currents brought about by climate change also leads to alterations in climate patterns around the world. Scientific studies indicate that extreme weather events such as heat waves and larger storms are likely to become more frequent and more intense with human-induced climate change, and the effects continue. You see, areas where plants grow and animals live tend to shift, and water supplies are also diminished. In short, climate change is putting global food production at risk. You already know that yield growth for wheat, maize, and other essential crops has been declining in most countries due to extreme heat, severe weather, and droughts. But apart from agricultural challenges, climate change can directly affect people's physical health. In urban areas, for example, the warmer atmosphere creates an environment that traps and increases the amount of smog. This is because smog contains ozone particles which increase rapidly at higher temperatures. Yet, exposure to high levels of smog can cause health problems in humans, such as asthma, heart disease, and lung cancer. Climate change is already impacting health in a myriad of ways, including by leading to death and illness from increasingly frequent weather events such as heat waves, storms, and floods. The disruption of food systems, increase in zoonosis and food, water, and vector-borne disease. And lastly, mental health issues. While the rapid rate of climate change is caused by humans are also the ones to combat it. Governments are now taking part in slowing this by making laws that are aimed at cutting climate-damaging emissions to zero, such as replacing fossil fuel burning factories and car engines with electricity-consuming machines and devices. That makes me wonder if fighting climate change is one of the reasons why people are switching to electric cars. For more about that, watch the video that will be on the screen right here. Or you can also click on the pop-up card up here. But it doesn't stop there. People are also backing away from fossil fuels to renewable energy sources like solar and wind, which do not produce greenhouse gas emissions. Now, with more ways introduced against climate change, such as reforestation, proper recycling, and etc., believe me when I say that we might still be able to avert some of the worst climate change effects. And with all that being said, I hope that everyone will participate in fighting against climate change. You can do the little that you can do, it all matters. It is for us, and it is for those after us. You have been a good viewer, so allow me to catch you again in the next video. Thanks for watching.